Welcome to our channel. Before we dive into yet another fascinating mythy, we'd like to invite you to watch, to like, and subscribe to the channel. Also, activate the notification sound. What if everything you've been told about human history was a lie? What if the stories of gods and myths were not fiction, but memories, buried, forgotten, waiting to be remembered? Because the truth is far more incredible than we were ever allowed to believe it. You know that ancient humans once lived alongside beings from the stars, not just in myth, not just in legend, but in real, tangible civilizations far older than we have been told. Atlantis. Lemuria. The lost cities of Mu. Once our ancestors walked among the Anunnaki, not as equals, but as creations. Engineered, modified, changed. They were shaped by the hands of the gods, or rather, by those we mistook for gods. These were the architects of the Adamic human, the ones who came from the sky, and they were not alone. Arcturians, Pleiadians, Sirians, each played a role in humanity's origins. Each left their mark in ways still felt today. Our DNA is a map written in the stars, and now, after thousands of years of silence, the truth is surfacing once again. Not as myth. Not as speculation, but as a forgotten history, waiting to be remembered. A history of war, a history of betrayal, a history of humanity caught between cosmic forces, far beyond their understanding. For over 10,000 years, whispers of an ancient war have persisted, a war that ended in destruction, a war that wiped entire continents off the face of the earth. Atlantis, Lemuria, gone in a single catastrophic moment. Some say it was natural disaster, others, something far more terrifying. Nuclear war, fought between gods, or rather, between rival extraterrestrial factions. The chronicles of Akaka tell us of two celestial races, once allies, then enemies. The skies burned red. The earth trembled beneath the weight of their conflict. They fought, not for survival, but for dominance. And humanity was caught in the middle, a pawn in a war they could barely comprehend. The Anunnaki were not alone in their influence over Earth. Their enemies, other starborn races, sought to claim their own dominion. The balance was shattered, and the world paid the price. Atlantis fell. Lemuria was swallowed by the sea. The great civilizations of the past became little more than stories, but some fragments remained. Some memories refused to die. In 1959, scientist Daniel W. Fry was taken aboard an alien craft. There he was told a secret, one that rewrote everything he thought he knew about history. His captors were not mere visitors, they were descendants of an ancient civilization. A lost people, survivors of a time before time. They spoke of Mu. They spoke of Atlantis. They spoke of an age where human and non-human lived as one, where knowledge flowed freely, where power was not hoarded, but shared. But all great civilizations fall, and this one was no different. Edgar Cayce is the sleeping prophet, saw visions of Atlantis, not just ruins, not just fragments, but a city alive with technology beyond our imagination. They called it the Firestone, a source of limitless energy, a power harnessed through domes and prisms. It fueled their world, it sustained their people, it made them gods among men. But power corrupts, and the Firestone was no exception. Misused, abused, turned against the very people it was meant to serve. The result? Destruction, a catastrophe that shook the world to its core. And now, the remnants of that age lie buried, scattered beneath the ocean, forgotten, until now. In 1968, explorers found something, a structure, not natural, not random, a road beneath the waves. The Bimini Road, proof that Atlantis was not a myth, proof that the past is not as lost as we were told. But Atlantis and Lemuria were not the beginning, nor were they the end. Their story is only a chapter in a much greater saga, a saga that began long before Earth was settled, long before humans even existed. It began in the stars. It began with the Lyrans, a race of celestial beings, the first humans, the ancestors of all who came after. They flourished, They built empires among the stars. Until the war came, the Draconians, a force of destruction. They shattered the Lyran homeworld. They tore through their colonies. They left only ruins in their wake. The Lyrans fled, some to the Pleiades, some to Sirius, some to Earth, and from their remnants, a plan was born. A plan to rebuild. A plan to create something new, but not without sacrifice. The Elohim, the architects of divine order, made a decision. They would create a new humanoid race, a race that could evolve, a race that could restore what was lost. But there was a price to protect the higher realms. They sealed humanity away. They severed their connection to the cosmic whole. They split their DNA. They shattered their consciousness. No longer beings of light, no longer beings of unity, now trapped in duality, now lost in the illusion of separation. And so, the cycle began. Again, and again, and again, each generation. Searching. Each generation, yearning for something they could not name, something lost, something stolen, something waiting to be reclaimed. The Lemurian soul, fragments, the Atlantean echoes, scattered across time, waiting to be made whole, waiting to remember, and the seeding races, the ones who began this experiment, never left. They watch, they wait, they guide, and now, the time of remembering has come. Not as myth, not as fiction, but as the truth of who we are, and where we come from, and what we must do next. Humanity's story is not one of isolation, it is one of connection, a web of influence, stretching across galaxies, a puzzle, pieced together by many hands. The Sirians, the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Lyrans, and the Anunnaki, each played their role, each left their mark, and at the center of it, Adamic human, the final experiment, a being of immense potential, trapped in limitation. The Anunnaki refined the design, tweaked the genes, created something unique, something unlike anything before, something that could serve. Something that could build, but not something that was free. No, freedom was never the goal. The first humans were workers, slaves, bound to their creators' will, tilling the land, mining the gold, serving the needs of those who shaped them. The gods of old were no gods at all, just beings of flesh and blood, superior. Yes, but mortal. And flawed. And in their arrogance, they made a mistake. A mistake that would change everything. They underestimated their creation. They thought humanity would remain docile, obedient, subservient. They were wrong. The Adamic line carried something unexpected. A spark, a memory of the stars, a longing for more, and in time, that longing turned into rebellion, that the Anunnaki fractured. Some wished to control humanity, some wished to uplift them. A war erupted, not just between the gods, but within them, brother against brother, ruler against ruler, and the earth trembled beneath their conflict. Some sought to enslave, some sought to liberate, and humanity was caught in the middle, a prize to be claimed, a resource to be used, but also a threat to be feared. For the Anunnaki saw what humanity could become, and it terrified them. The potential to surpass them, to awaken, to reclaim what was lost. And so, a decision was made. A decision that shaped history itself, the flood. Not a myth, not a legend, a deliberate act, a reset, a way to wipe the slate clean, to erase the progress that had been made, to bury the truth, and it worked. The world was drowned, the knowledge was lost, the survivors scattered, and humanity was plunged into darkness. But not all was forgotten. Not all was erased. The echoes remained. The whispers in ancient texts, the fragments of memory passed down in legend. Atlantis.lemuria.mu. The remnants of what once was, and what could be again, because the flood did not end the experiment, it only delayed it. Humanity, rebuilt, slowly, painfully, generation after generation. And though the chains were genetic shackles of the mind remained, a species that had once touched the stars, no feared the sky. A species that had once wielded power beyond imagine, struggled to light a fire. But the embers never died. And the watchers never left. The Pleiadians guided in secret. The Sirians whispered through dreams. The Arcturians protected from the shadows. And the Anunnaki, some still sought control. Some still sought dominion. But others sought redemption. The old war was never truly over. It simply changed form. From open battleado manipulation, to control through religion, through empire, through the rewriting of history itself, and yet the truth endures. Hidden in plain sight, in the ruins beneath the ocean, in the ancient texts, ignored by scholars, in the myths dismissed as fantasy. And now, as the cycle turns, once more time of remembering has come, the awakening has begun, and the question is no longer where we come from, but where we go next. The past is not lost, it is buried. But buried things have a way of rising. The truth has always been there, waiting, hiding in the ruins of forgotten civilizations, carved into stone, etched into DNA, whispered in dreams. And now, after thousands of years, pieces are coming together. A puzzle, long scattered, is being rebuilt. Not just by scholars, not just by mystics, but by you, because deep inside already know. You have always known. The memories are there, locked away, dormant, waiting for the right moment, and that moment is now. The time of amnesia is ending. The illusion is breaking. The veil is lifting. Because the cycle is turning once more. This has all happened before, and it will happen again. Atlantis rose and fell. Lemuria flourished and was lost. Humanity reached for the stars and was cast down. Each time, the knowledge was taken. Each time, the past was erased. But each time, something remained. A spark, a fragment, a whisper. And that whisper is growing louder. The old truths are emerging. The old war is resurfacing. Because those who once ruled never truly left. The Anunnaki are still here. Not as gods, not as myths, but as forces moving behind the scenes. Some in the open, most in the shadows, still guiding, still shaping, still watching. And humanity is waking up. The ones who forgot are beginning to remember. The lost knowledge is returning. The hidden histories are being revealed, and the balance is shifting, because this time cycle will not repeat. This time, humanity will not fall. This time, the game has changed, because this time, know the truth, and truth is power. More power than any technology. More power than any empire. The power to break the chains. The power to reclaim what was lost. The power to become what we were always meant to be. Something greater, something limitless, something free. And that is why they are afraid. Because the moment we remember, their control is over. Their illusion crumbles. Their rule ends. And the era of humanity begins. Not as servants, not as pawns, but as the beings we were created to be. Beings of light, beings of wisdom, beings of cosmic power. That is our destiny. That is our path. That is the future. And the future is now. The time of waiting is over. The time of remembering has begun. No more myths. No more half-truths. No more silence. The knowledge is returning. Atlantis was real. Lemuria was real. The gods of old were no gods at all. They were beings of flesh, beings of power, but not invincible, not beyond consequence. They thought they had one. They thought humanity would remain asleep. But something unexpected happened. The human spirit endured. Through war, through oppression, through the rewriting of history itself. The truth was never truly lost. It was hidden, locked away, but never gone. And now, it is rising again, because the cycle is not just turning, it is breaking. The chains of the past are shattering. The illusion is crumbling. And the ones who kept us in the dark air, losing their grip. They fear what is coming. They fear what you are becoming, because you are remembering, you are seeing, you are waking up. And once awake, cannot go back, the knowledge cannot be erased. The spark cannot be extinguished, and the power cannot be taken, because the power was never theirs. To begin with, it was always yours, it was always within you. The ancient ones knew this. The Atlanteans, the Lemurians, the great star races that came before. They saw the potential, the limitless possibility, And that is why they fought. That is why they fell, not because they were weak, but because they were feared, because those who seek controlways fear those who cannot be controlled. And that is why you are here. To reclaim what was lost, to restore what was broken. To remember who you truly are. You are not just flesh, not just bone, you are light, you are energy, you are consciousness itself, boundless, unstoppable, eternal. And that is why they tried to keep you small, to keep you blind, to keep you in chains. But those chains are breaking. Right now. In this moment, because you are awakening, the truth is within you. It always has been, and now, it is time to rise, time to reclaim, time to reclaim, time to remember. You are not a servant. You are not a pawn. You are not weak, you are power itself. The universe moves through you. The stars sing your name, and the old rulers, the ones who thought they owned you, they are nothing. Their time is over. Because the future is yours. The path is yours. The destiny is yours, and nothing can stop what is coming. The story of humanity is not a tragedy. It is not a tale of defeat. It is a tale of resilience, a journey of awakening, a cycle of forgetting and remembering. We were never meant to remain small. We were never meant to be slaves. The forces that tried to keep us in chainsty only delayed the inevitable, because no matter how many times they tried to erase our past, it was never truly lost. It lives within us, in our blood, in our bones, in the whispers of our dreams. The codes of our ancestors still flow through us. The knowledge of the stars still burns inside. The memories of Atlantis, the wisdom of Lemuria, the teachings of the ancients, they are not gone. They are waiting for us to rise, to reclaim, to restore. To stand as we once did, free, sovereign, and limitless. This is not just about history, it is about the future. It is about destiny. It is about stepping into the truth of who we are, not children of Earth but children of the cosmos. Beings of infinite potential, creators of our own reality. The cycle has turned for the last time. There will be no more forgetting, no more deception, no more control. The awakening is unstoppable. The shift is here, and the final choice remains: will you embrace your power? Will you reclaim your truth? Will you step into the future with open eyes and an open heart? Or will you turn away? Will you remain in the illusion? The answer is yours to give. But no, nothing can stop what has already begun. The tides of time have shifted. The ancient ones watch and wait. The universe holds its breath because humanity is rising. And once we rise, we'll never fall again.